Happy morning, dear kids! Yes, today in this session you are going to learn the lesson by the name Plants Living and Surviving. In that chapter, we will learn first about what is habitat. Dear kids, the place where plant lives is called the habitat. The place where plants lives is called habitat. Let us know about the adaptation now. Plants live in different surroundings. They have to adjust according to the conditions of the environment. So for this adjustment process we called as adaptation. The particular place of adjustment is called as adaptation. What are the conditions necessary for the growth of the plants? Do you know? So the type of the soil is very important, in which type of soil we are growing the plant, and the amount of water available, and the temperature of the place, third one, amount of rain, how much amount of rain is required, and the availability of the light and the wind. So these are all the some of the conditions necessary. So let us learn about the classification of plants depending on their habitat. On their habitat, the plants are classified into two types. Those are terrestrial plants that grow on the land and the aquatic plants that are grown in a water. There are two types of plants. And the upcoming are the terrestrial plants. What are the types of the terrestrial plants we can find? We can find the plants in the hilly areas and in the plain areas, in hot and damp areas, in desert areas, and in marshy areas. So these are all the 5 types of terrestrial plants where we can see the plants. Right, let us learn about these plants in the upcoming session. Okay, the plants which grow on hills are the hilly aerial plants, and the plants which grow on land are plain aerial plants, and the plants which grow on hot weather regions are hot and damp areas plants. The plants which grow on deserts are desert plants, and the wetland and soft aerial plants are called as marshy aerial plants. First one is plants on hilly areas. In hilly areas where it is generally cold, the trees are tall and straight. The trees in this region are almost all tall and straight. These trees have needle-like leaves. Instead of flowers, these trees bears cones in their structure. They are cone-like structure, right? The pine tree, the kedar or deodar are such trees. Each grows in hilly areas, and spruce trees also found in these very cold places. In the plain regions, trees have lots of branches. They can bear the lot of branches in them. These trees can bear the heat. It can bear the hotness, the temperature, hot temperature, but they shed their leaves during the winter season. Example for those plain region trees are or plants are mango, shisham, peepal, banyan tree and sal. These are all some such trees which can grow in plain areas. In hot and damp areas, the trees have lots of leaves, but they do not shed their leaves in winter. In winter season, they do not shed their leaves, means leave their leaf. Leaves are not grown there. They remain evergreen. Some plants that grow in such places are teak, coconut, pepper, rubber tree, tea, coffee plant and sugarcane, rice and cotton. How many plants I have named here? I have named teak, coconut, pepper, rubber, tea, coffee, sugarcane, rice and cotton. These are all some plants which can see in hot and damp areas. You should remember this. Kids, in desert regions, the most plants grow without leaves. As you can see in this cactus, the cactus is the plant which grown in desert areas. That is the only one plant. And it is one such plant that the desert plants have spines instead of the leaves. The spines prevent the loss of water. How do these plants make food in the absence of leaves? I have already told you. Right? The green, fleshy stem of such plants contains the chlorophyll and makes the food. It also stores the water in that. You have learnt in the previous session about that. Make clear about it, right? And what about the marshy areas? The trees which grow in marshy areas contain the soil with a sticky and clayey manner. Means if we tap or put our toes in the that kind of mud or soil, means what happens, we can't take out our legs very easily. The slippers or legs will hold the soil, we can't come out easily. That type of soil will be found in that marshy areas. In that type of areas, whatever the plant grows, that are called by the name mangroves. The plants that grow here in marshy areas are called as mangroves. Kids, their roots do not get air as the soil is covered with the water. If there the water content is more, so the roots of that kind of plants were not getting the sufficient air to breathe, so the roots grow out of the soil. The roots grow out of the soil and water to breathe themselves easily. Such roots are called breathing roots. Such roots are called as breathing roots. Breathing roots means the roots which helps for the plants to breathe themselves easily. Those roots are called as breathing roots. So the plants in terrestrial areas are pine, fir, kedar, spruce, and in plain areas mango, shisham, peepal, banyan, sal, etc. And in hot and damp areas tea, coconut tree, rice, coffee, etc. And in desert areas cactus will be found, and in marshy areas mangroves will be found. So this is about the today's concept. Learn and write in your classwork some of the spellings I will tell you. And okay, let us meet in next session. Until then, thank you. Bye bye.